because he doesn't care about the Jewish population. He doesn't care about anyone. He's not paid to care about people. He's paid to care about his weirdo globalist cabal. That's who he's paid to care about. Then in the same breath, he went on to mention that it's right-wing extremists that are a problem. I'm a white dude. I'm out here. I don't see any. Am I one of those people? No. I don't have any inclination to go get a rifle and start shooting people. None whatsoever. Should Dewey risk it? Come and join me today on my urban nature hike. Dewey gets a little heated again today. He goes into further detail with that Australian shooting and a little more insight into Pierre Poilievre's political future. And I just crossed frozen river. It wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I'll put that at the end of the video if you want to watch that. Just adjacent to the Humber Creek. Humber River's over there. So stick around if you want to see me get heated and see some pretty nice trails today that you might not have seen before. I'm already 3 kilometers into my hike, and I'm on a public golf course, not too well, 3 kilometers from my house. And I want to discuss some more about Pierre Poilievre, and I want to discuss more about the Bondi Beach shooting. There's quite a bit of fallout from the Bondi Beach shooting with regards to a lot of pressure coming on to Anthony Albanese, the current Australian Prime Minister. Now, there are people, whether it be other politicians, whether it be the public, there is outrage, and for good reason. 15 people dead, including one of the shooters, 16. And hold on a second here, what do I got here? Yeah, they're not bothering anyone. So there are cries for Anthony Albanese to resign, and the reason they want Anthony Albanese to resign is because he has allowed and he has facilitated what happened at that beach a few days ago. And it's the same thing within Canada, it's the same thing within the United Kingdom, it's the same thing in France, the Netherlands, Portugal, Italy. A lot of the westernized countries, or Western democracy, traditional Western countries, they are all following the same globalist playbook, and it is culminating in these type of events. So a gentleman by the name of Josh Friedenberg, he is a former politician in Australia. He's a Jewish guy, and he was, I believe, the treasurer at one time in the Australian government. So he went on, and he is asking for Albanese to step down. So he went on a talk show. Her name was Sarah Ferguson, not the one that you're thinking of, but I'll put a picture of both of them up on the screen. And the first thing she said to Josh was, do you think you're using the shootings at Bondi Beach as a political leverage tool or a political bargaining chip? And he took offense to it. I'll put the video at the end of this video, or in the description. He took offense to it, and so he should have. So he went on to chastise her pretty bad, and she tried to interrupt him. She tried to hold a hard stance, but he wasn't having it. He let her have it, and that's good. So the pattern recognition that I'm noticing, and a lot of people are noticing, that it's the same thing. Like, you look at Albanese, you look at Keir Starmer, you look at Mark Carney. They all look like they had the same father. They all have the same appearance. They all have the same mannerisms, and they all have the same internal evilness and vitriol. They have been groomed over many years. They've been hand selected to do what they're doing. So there were 15 people shot dead in Bondi Beach, and I think there was 40 wounded. Now, I don't really care what you think about what's happening in the Gaza, what's happening with Israel. What's happening over there should stay fucking over there. They're bringing this fucking nonsense to our countries, and innocent people are getting killed. You go to, it's obviously it was planned around Hanukkah to do this. There's been other terror plots thwarted leading up to Christmas ceremonies around the world and Hanukkah ceremonies. And why is that happening? It's happening because it's been facilitated. It's been instilled and installed to bring in what the globalists, the global cabal want. And what they want people like me, Jewish people, people that know how good the world can be and how good the world was. In a lot of cases, it hasn't always been perfect, obviously. So, Keir Starmer, Mark Carney, Anthony Albanese, they're all using the same playbook, and now it's going to catch up to Albanese, because not only did 15 people get killed, they weren't all Jewish. Picture this: you're at Bondi Beach, It's a hard one for me to remember properly. You're at Bondi Beach, and the person that is doing the shooting with the rifle, he is not hitting all his targets, okay? So there are stray bullets everywhere. So you're with your little kid, you're with your family across the street from that bridge, that sniper perch where that asshole was, and you're buying your little 4-year-old child a snow cone, whatever they got down in Australia for a treat for your kid, and your kid takes a stray bullet. So you're holding your kid's hand as he passes away in your hands. It happened here a few months ago. I did a video on it with an 8-year-old boy by the name of Javay Roy. He was laying in bed on a second story of an apartment building, not so dissimilar to those ones, and there's been some murders up there too. It's not far from here, actually. And a couple Somali gangbangers, punks, were shooting at each other. One group was shooting from the street, and there was another group in the playground. But behind the playground was Javay's apartment. A bullet went through the window, and it struck Javay and killed him. So that person, the mother, which my friend knows and talks to regularly, her life is never going to be the same, and for good reason, and understandably. We all know that. So now you're a parent, and your child takes a stray bullet from one of these radicalized assholes. I'm hearing reports they're from India. I'm hearing reports they're from Pakistan. I'm hearing reports they're from Lebanon. You know, you don't know what's true, because the media is paid to confuse people. They send out a bunch of false narratives, false information to trip people up. All I know is what I seen, and I seen the videos. Now, are all these videos doctored up? Of course they're not, because it really did happen. They're saying now that the father and son, they went to the Philippines for a few weeks to train in terrorism, to learn how to shoot the guns like the way they shot the guns. They had a couple shotguns and a couple straight pull bolt action rifles. Now, the first thing, listen to this. This is what really fucking pisses me off. That fucking idiot Albanese, he goes in his fake condolence speech, because he doesn't care about the Jewish population. He doesn't care about anyone. He's not paid to care about people. He's paid to care about his weirdo globalist cabal. That's who he's paid to care about. So he doesn't really give a shit about who got killed. So the first thing he does, he goes on there with his crocodile tears. I don't even think he cried, but whatever. And you know, he deems it a terrorist action, and he starts to go on almost right away with regards to further gun controls. It's not the fucking guns that are the problem. It's asshole politicians like you that are allowing people into the country that get radicalized. Then in the same breath, he went on to mention that it's right-wing extremists that are a problem. Where the fuck are all these white-wing extremists? Where are they? I'm a white dude. I'm out here. I don't see any. Am I one of those people? No. I don't have any inclination to go get a rifle and start shooting people. None whatsoever. And I don't know any other white dudes that I know that are of that like mind. I really don't. And yeah, I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of people in the same mindset as me with regards to the current politicians that running our countries that are purposely putting us in harm's way, purposely getting us killed. That's the problem. So now they deem people like me a right-wing extremist for calling their obvious bullshit out. They're getting us killed. So there is going to be, this is going to snowball. And when it starts snowballing, you see what they do. Look how nice this is. You see what they do. They tighten up speech laws. They tighten up gun laws because they know what they're doing. They're strangling us so they can come in and just put us on our knees. That's what they're trying to do. They're fear-mongering. The cops allowed this to go on for 20 minutes. They're getting a lot of flack too, like I said in my last video. But at the end of the day, let's not be mistaken here. It's not right-wing extremists that are doing these sort of things at all. Okay, at all. Legal guns make up a fraction of the percentage of gun crimes in Canada. A fraction. It's almost never that a legally obtained gun is used in the commission of a shooting, unless it's a domestic situation. I understand that. You know, a guy that owns a bunch of guns, or a woman that owns a bunch of guns, has a beef with their significant other, and you know, they shoot them. So, but it's very rare, very rare. And Australia, I'm assuming it's just as rare. So, guns aren't the problem. Edge weapons, knives, if you look into what's the largest amount of people that have been killed in a knife attack, if you Google that, it'll come up in China, and I got it here. It was the Kunming railway station incident in China, where 8 assailants killed 31 people and injured 143 with knives. 31 dead, 143 with knives. Japan, oh, the one in China was 2014. I'll put all this up on the screen. Japan, 19 killed in 2016. Single person killed 19 people with an edged weapon. And not so long ago in Canada, 2022, on an Indian reserve, 11 people killed by a single person with an edged weapon. So some of these edge weapons attacks are double of what those two radicalized jihadists did with their rifles and shotguns. So it's not a gun control thing. They want to take our guns away. They want to take people's guns away so they can just come in and install and instill draconian measures and do whatever they want with us. That's why they're taking the guns away. Don't be mistaken. It's not to protect each of us. They don't care about us. They don't care. You think Mark Carney leaves? Oh, and that's another thing about Mark Carney. If you go online, and you know, I'm not someone that is gonna dig the internet deep. I just do quick Google searches. If you go online and try to find out Mark Carney's net worth, it comes back nothing. It comes back, it's been washed. So that's all been washed. The guy, by some accounts, is a billionaire. He's a Goldman Sachs guy. He's a governor of the Bank of Canada. He's a governor of the Bank of England. He was, I don't know if he was the CEO or the head of Brookfield Asset Management. He's way up there, a huge multi-billion-dollar company. Do you think he's going to leave what he had to work for 400 grand a year and have to deal with Pierre Poilievre in question period because he wants to help the country? Doesn't even live in the country. His wife and his fucking kid don't live in the country. The guy holds 2 other passports. He considers himself European. Then he comes back with his elbows up bullshit and he gets elected, or he gets installed as prime minister. He didn't get elected. Then that leads me into Pierre Poilievre. Now, Pierre Poilievre, you got to ask yourself this, and I failed to mention this in one of my last 2 videos. Why are they spending millions and millions of dollars to slander and smear and to get other conservative members of parliament to cross the aisle? They're spending millions and millions of dollars doing this, okay? Where the fuck are they getting this money from? So the reason they're doing that, obviously, because Pierre Poilievre is a major threat. And I mentioned that the other day, and I compared him to Charlie Kirk, where Charlie Kirk had to be taken care of because he was becoming a major threat. They don't want... Maybe one day they will do that to Poilievre, God forbid. I hate to even say that, but that would not shock me. Now, Pierre Poilievre is going up in the polls, and I'm going to put up on the screen Ipsos Reid poll and another poll, and I'll show you the Ipsos Reid one, which is a bought and paid for liberal poll. They're showing if the election was held now, the Conservatives would win a minority government. The other poll, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put them both up. It is depicting if election was held now, it'd be a majority Conservative government. Don't be mistaken. Poilievre's our guy. Whether you like him or not, we don't got no one else right now. I can't run for any sort of political seat. I got too many skeletons in my closet, people. So don't even put it in the comment section. I can't do it. So we can get off the nonsense that Pierre Poilievre shouldn't be the leader of the Conservative Party. He's done nothing in 20 years. He hasn't been prime minister. Okay, you know, you get that Vashi Capello, and you get that Rosemary Barton, Vashi Capello from CTV, and Rosemary Barton from CBC. You get them to interviewing them just recently, and I don't know why Poilievre's even. What we got over there? I don't know why Poilievre even goes on those news interviews with these two people. They don't let him speak. They ask him a question, then they just interrupt him. And the last two interviews he had with those, I think it was within 2 or 3 days apart, he was with both of them. Holy shit, man. They both get paid $1 million. Those two demon women get paid $1 million to behave the way they do. They are full of vitriol. As Donald Trump would say, they're nasty women. Nasty. Now, Dewey's coming across as being very misogynistic. No, I'm going to tell you what Dewey's coming across as. Dewey's coming across as he loves conservative women. He's not such a big fan of liberal women. So if you're a conservative woman, and you are respectful, you are ladylike, you maintain core Christian family values, I'll run through a wall for you head first. If you're a liberal woman that talks nonsense, that wants to go in and berate an old lady like they did down in the United States, a Target employee, because she was wearing a Charlie Kirk red t-shirt. I don't know if you've seen that online. This liberal Karen goes in there and just starts ripping into this nice old lady. Like, this is going to come to a head. My advice to liberal Karens, be very careful. Not from me. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I'm not going to do nothing to anyone. But there are people out there, as you can tell, even from my videos, the political climate is going up. It's getting hot. The temperature is increasing. I seen that over there. It was just a basketball. I thought it was a beaver. But anyhow, so Pierre Poilievre, he isn't going anywhere. Okay? And if he does, we're in deep shit. The nonsense with us being flooded by unvetted, unsustainable immigration, come on, we all know what's going on now. They want us dead. They want us shot. They don't give a shit. They want that so they can take away our gun rights. And it's depopulation too. They want us, listen, they want us fighting each other. That's why they stir up the religious conflicts. That's why they stir up the cultural, the race conflicts. They want us fighting each other. People got to wake up. If we all got together and we said enough is enough of this, you'd see things change. And I think, in my personal opinion, obviously Carney has to step things up with regards to his globalist agenda plan, because he can see he's on a very limited time schedule, because the walls are closing in on him, because he knows people aren't going to put up with this forever. Anyhow, that's what I got to say today. I'm going to do a little bit more walking up here. I'm coming up to an Indigenous learning area. I'll get some footage of that. So I don't know if people are there right now, so I don't want to come through the woods and sound like a lunatic right-wing extremist. Because I think at Indigenous learning centers they don't welcome right-wing extremists into their group. So anyhow, I'll get some footage of it. Just coming up to an old sweat lodge. I did see it a couple years ago when it was set up, but it hasn't been set up in a while. That's a tarp. Looks like it's in a rough shape. The snow caved it in. But this is And then there's two Indigenous learning centers, and this is and there's another one up a little bit. I might go to it, I might not. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to show you this right here. So that's obviously the A-frame of what was once a teepee, and it's good they took it apart this year. This teepee was at another location. This teepee was set up about 3/4 of a kilometer away from here, over there, and they moved it. But yeah, it's quite impressive to see when it was set up. I was expecting some people to be here today for some reason. I don't know why I was thinking that. This is the Eglinton Crosstown going west. So this is they have to build a bridge across the valley over the Humber River, and it runs, this bridge for the Eglinton Crosstown runs parallel with the Eglinton Bridge over the Humber River, as you can see. And yeah, you can see they're a little ways away from finishing this project. About 2-3 years ago, there was a very large homeless encampment under here, over there. So then when they started the construction, they cleared out the homeless encampment, but it was sizable. What I failed to mention, when I was walking on the banks of the Humber River through the golf course, that was part of an ancient First Nation Indigenous trail, and it's a very it's quite a famous trail if you know anything about Toronto history. It's called the Toronto Carrying Place Trail, and I've done a video on it before, and I've been on this trail many times, a couple times on foot, but mostly when I'm on my e-bike. And it's much different in the winter time. It's very overgrown in the spring and summer into early fall. But yeah, this is this trail that I'm on, literally this trail is thousands of years old, and it was used by First Nations people as a portage route, a trading route to Lake Simcoe, into the upper Great Lakes. And then it was used by European settlers for the fur trade and whatever else European settlers did back then. Yeah, so I just thought I'd let you in on that. I'm going to be walking down here, and I'm going to show you another First Nations Learning Center. A little red squirrel going up the tree there. You don't see those. You don't see them in the city, like in people's backyards. They're only in wooded areas, and not even all wooded areas. And there was a male cardinal just flew by, but they don't let you get too close. Oh, there it is, right there. Right there, male cardinal. Beautiful bird. Actually, that's probably about as close I've ever got to a male cardinal. They are very skittish. Gonna do a little bushwhacking through here. There is a service road back in here, and it's gonna take me into the Indigenous Learning Center. And in the summertime, it would be real hard to do this. Hard enough to do it when there's snow foliage. So this is a city service road, and I don't know why they have it, but they do. They say they have cameras here, right there. Premises monitored by 24-hour video surveillance. I've never seen the camera, but I've seen the signs. I'll keep walking. Just coming into the Indigenous Learning Center. I haven't seen one person on this hike, and I'm a little over 4 kilometers into it. Storage building. Over there they have a yurt. I believe that's their office. In the summer they have gardens, traditional First Nations gardens, and they had a big communal building there made out of, you can see it's made out of bent branches, bent sticks. They have another sweat lodge here, and pretty much it's all cleared up. I'm going to sit on this picnic table here and have some of my coffee, which is in my pocket. I need a little bit of a break. I'm all by myself for now. It's all wet on that side, so I'll sit on this side. Oh, I need that break. Just having a healthy energy bar here with my coffee. I like my coffee crisp. To my 3 American viewers, I don't know if you get these down there, but they're pretty tasty. I'm just gonna eat this and walk out of here, and I think I might cross the Humber River, and I don't mean over a bridge. I mean I might be walking through the Humber River because I want to end up on the western banks, but we'll see. Just finished my coffee break, just leaving. This is where the garden was, like I said, and over here is where the large teepee used to be. There's the center fire pit in the middle of the teepee. There's some teepee poles. And I'm just coming out back onto the Toronto Carrying Place Trail. This is a 2-acre allotment of land given from the City of Toronto to be used for a First Nations Learning Center. I'll show you the sign up here. It'll tell you, I believe, the name of the band, and the name I couldn't even remotely possibly read, so I'll just let you guys read it. A bit of a hill here. Yeah, that's easy to read, so good luck with that. Back on the trail. Now, I was saying I want to cross the river. It might not be an option because of the ice, because I gotta cross the river in a very shallow spot, and I have an area in mind, but it might not be viable because of the ice. But once I get up there, I'll assess it. Yeah, it could be a little tricky. Yeah, I don't think it's yeah, I don't think it's very smart to try to cross this today. I do not think. Hey, should Dewey risk it? Should Dewey risk crossing the Humber River and try to go up that hill over there? I think Dewey's risking it, people. I think Dewey is risking it. Yeah. Dewey might be going for a swim. Now, I will say, do not try this. I know this area of the river. I know it's not deep. The water is not remotely over my head. So if I do go through the ice, it's going to be a mild inconvenience. This is very risky, this spot here, because of the fast moving water. Yeah. The boots I'm wearing are water resistant for sure. I'm not wearing my gaiters today. I'm not wearing waterproof pants. I'm not even wearing thermal underwear because it is, like I said, 3 to 4 degrees. Now, this looks to be the sketchiest part. Yeah, it's sketchy. I could reiterate, do not try this at home, people. And that's no joke. I just know that this part of the river is shallow because I've been here before. But like I said, and if I did get wet, that's okay too. Prepares my mind, and it tests my resolve, and it tests my equipment. If I had to walk home with wet boots, the water went over my boots, or wet pants, I'm wearing merino wool socks. Yeah, so be it. So be it. But I made it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I almost made it. Hold on, I'm not quite across yet. Yeah. I'm back on terra firma. So yeah, that was better than I thought. And this is where the Humber Creek drains into the Humber River. Up there is a large waterfall. I did a video of hundreds of salmon jumping during the salmon run up there. It's a big waterfalls. If you go back on my videos, you can see that. But anyhow, I'm gonna walk out of here, and I got a hill to go up there, a sizable hill. So I'll continue once I'm up there. That's going to conclude my video. Once I make it home, it'll be about a 7-kilometer loop, and I'll put the analytics of my walk up on the end screen. I'm going to start doing that probably every video. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Put it in the comment section. Comments are really good. I appreciate them. Thanks for watching. Bye.